Okay, it's been an entire week since I was last here. It is now January the 2nd, 2017. Happy New Year to everybody. So I left off with having bottom balanced my pack and then charging it back up. I forget what the voltage was, but I just checked it. According to the Innova, it is 12.5 volts, and I just plugged the capacity controller in, and it's telling me it's 12.53 volts. Not a lot of difference, but a little bit. I looked at each and every cell, and it's pretty much balanced. That's just about what the Innova was telling me. Again, a little bit of a difference. So this has been sitting for a whole week and it's in good shape. So I'm pretty much ready to start testing it again. But I got a little bit more work to do on redoing the testing station. And there's some other things I wanted to talk about as well. So during the last week of December, I didn't do anything with this project, and I got the idea that I wanted to add another 12 volt bank to the testing station to make it a 24 volt system rather than a 12 volt system. So I put together another bank, exactly the same size and dimension as the first one. Everything is identical. All I have to do is add the nickel strip exactly the same way I did the other one. So this has been all glued up and ready to go. It's nice and secure. Everything is ready for the nickel strip to be added. So the reason I wanted to add another 12 volt to make it a 24 volt system is I knew I had a bunch of cells that were very, very similar in capacity as all the brand new cells were. These were part of the 60 cells that I cycled through October and November, and they've just been sitting. These are the 9 closest to the capacity of the original ones. These are 27s all the way down. Then we get to the high 26 milliamp hour all the way down to the mid 26. So these are very, very similar to what I already have in the other pack. So I connected these all up in parallel a couple of days ago. They were all fully charged, and I've checked them out, and they're all exactly balanced and ready to be put in the new pack when I get this finished, which is going to happen very, very soon. And I also decided to do a little upgrading to my auxiliary battery. This, if you remember, was what I was using to power up this little volt and amp meter. I don't remember if I had all 4 cells together or if I only had 3 in there, but I now have all 4 put together in series. It's giving me a 16.73 volts. I also super glued a very, very tiny little Chinese meter. I got glue all over it. I also burned it with the soldering iron just a little while ago, but that's okay. This is one of the very first meters. In fact, this was the first meter I bought to put in line to check things out. It's one of those extra cheap little $4 Chinese meters you buy on eBay. And it does work. It's somewhat accurate, not perfect. It's really a very simple little meter. So I just super glued it on there. I've got a blade fuse holder all wired up, positive, negative. That's the way it flows. Put the fuse in, and there we go. The meter starts up. It's telling me I've got 16.8 volts. The Innova is telling me a little bit different, not too much. 16.67 volts. So there's a little bit of difference there. Again, this is a $50 meter. This is a $4 meter, so I think I put my trust into this, but I definitely want to test it out with this eventually. Going to be doing that. This also has a backlight that you can turn on and off. You take a little toothpick and stick in here wood and click the button. Presto, now I got a backlight. It gives me voltage, it gives me the ohms. It's got the little battery indicator, and it would give me amps too if I have a load on it. So let's just go ahead and quickly connect this up and see what happens. There we go. We got our little meter powered up now. I'm also going to use it to power this up. This actually has an auxiliary power, but unfortunately that's a 3-pin plug and I don't have one. I've had to order one off of eBay and they're a little bit expensive, unfortunately, but this also will run off of this eventually. And I wanted to connect the capacity controller up, just like I did with the 3S pack. This is a 4S pack, but I don't have the 4-pin connector to connect to this. I've got the 7-pin, but I've already tried it out. It will not work because it's got 7 pins in there. Even if you pull out the ones you don't need, which is really very easy to do, to just pull the wires out, it still won't work. So unfortunately I've ordered some, and again they got to come all the way from China, just like this thing will. So probably 2 months. It's very frustrating when you order this really cheap stuff on eBay. It comes all the way from China, Hong Kong, and it takes forever and a day to get here, but that's unfortunately where I'm at. So so this will power up this is permanently attached. That's the way the wiring goes, and that's just the way it'll work. And that way I'll be able to monitor it and see and make sure I'm keeping my batteries charged up. So yeah, I will eventually wire in a 4-cell balance deal. That way I can actually balance charge this up using my iMax B6. So that's it for my update right now. I definitely got some more exciting things coming. Building a rather fancy, I think, load out of the halogen lights. I haven't got to that yet. Hopefully I'll get to that very, very soon. And we'll be able to do some testing once I have the 12-volt the testing station back up and running. And then we'll upgrade it to 24 volts and really give out those halogen bulbs a good testing. So that is it for now. More coming soon.